figured today I'd go over my tips for a beginner shaver, somebody who's just fixing to get started out, and the way some of the things that I did and some of the things I wish I would have done. So this might be a two-part, it might be a long. First thing, you have a lot of information out there: forums, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, a lot of stuff you can get involved with and asking questions and everything else. One thing I really recommend is Leisure's Guide to Gourmet Shaving. I didn't get this. This is the 6th. I believe there might be a 7th edition. I'm not for certain about that. This is on Amazon or Books Me and any other place. But this is a great book filled with information. And the good thing about this is if you go on a forum, there's going to be information up on top of information, up on top of information. Everybody's different opinion. And as you'll find out, wet shaving is very personable. What works for me might not work for you. That's where YMMV work comes in. Your miles may vary. This book has it all in there. You can just turn it to a certain page, and even if you've been wet shaving for a couple of years, this is a great read. Just a perfect read. Alright, so my suggestions on soaps. I'm using Castle Forbes today. This is a real expensive soap, but look into Taylor of Old Bond Street, Cella, C-E-L-L-A, Arco. Get one soap and or one cream. Taylor of Old Bond Street, I think they're about $15 a tub, and you can get several of them. I started out with sandalwood, and then your razor is which I'm going to be shaving with the Merkur 34C. I think this is the HD. This is the one I started out with, the Edwin Jagger DE89. This is the L. They have a bunch of different handles now for these series, and I suggest going with something different than the L because this does get slick. So this is a knurling, and the knurling will help you hang on to it when your hands are wet or slick. So that'll help. If you go with vintage, this is a vintage razor. This is made back in the 1900s. If you go with the vintage, the main difference is that the blade's going to set differently on all these older razors because they've been used. They might not seat right. You might have to eyeball it to see if you get the edges right. And plus, like this one, it's unscrewed right there. It's done stripped. So something's always going to be wrong. It's hard, very hard to find a vintage razor in pristine condition. So starting out, it's best just to go ahead and get the 34C or the Edwin Jagger. The difference is this is a 3-piece. Comes apart like this. Your normal 3-piece. And this is also a 3-piece, but I just can kind of consider it a 2-piece in a sense. There it goes. That's 2-piece. It's actually a 3-piece because this will come out. But I'll be shaving with this. As far as razor blades go to Tri-Blade or Maggard's Razors or any other place, Razor Rock. Just about every place has a sample pack, and this is a Voskhod, but get a sample pack. And I think I'll probably make a video over my suggestions of blades and stuff and which ones work. Well, the ones that work for me best are Russian made. I don't understand it, but that's just the way they work. But all of them are designed to fit posts or slots, and to seat it you need one hand up here, and the blades on this side always hold the corners, the edges, and you just screw it down, and the post will go in the holes down here. Now it's always a good thing to look from the top. Just make sure that blade is sitting right. Because If it's not, it's going to give you an uncomfortable shave. Today I'm going to use the Plisson. This is synthetic. I started out with a boar brush. Great to start out with. Or you can even start out with a badger. Each one of these have different qualities. They do different things. Plenty of information about them out there. My suggestion for a new person is a boar, because this is a $20 brush. You can get an Omega for even cheaper, and they work great. Once they're broke in, you know, read on there how to get the scent out and stuff. The synthetic, I'm just trying to use more. These are becoming more popular, very soft. And let me lather this up and I'll be right back. Alright, so you got your razor and you got your sample pack of blades, and you got your soap or cream. Let's say you got your toes and your brush. So sit down at night or in the morning or whenever before you shave and watch some movies, which I'm on YouTube, which I figure you've already done that. How do you load your brush? How do you whip it up into a lather, and practice? And then wash it down the sink, do it again. Each soap and each cream is gonna work differently. Just like the blades. One blade will work good in this for you and the other one won't. But once you've got that sample pack, your razor, your brush, and your soap, and then you finally get to the point where you can put lather to the face. Figure out which blade. If it's a derby, you know, stick with the derby. But the first blade that you find that works for you, you know, use it. If it's a Gillette Silver Blue, it works really, really good for me in just about any razor, or an Astra SP. Stick with it. Buy 50 or 100 of them. Use that one razor, and for 30 days, use the same soap, the same razor, and the same blade for 30 days. Learn how to shave with that. A lot of people will get on there and watch YouTube, get on forums, read all this stuff. Next thing you know, before that 30 days is up, you have 5 or 6 different soaps, you have 5 or 6 different razors, you're on eBay, bidding on stuff. Learn how to shave first, then find out what you like and go from there. Let's say this is not cutting it. This doesn't cut you, cut your hairs good enough. You're still feeling stubble after learning how to do 3 passes. With the grain, across the grain, and against the grain. You might need something more aggressive. You go with something more aggressive. Or this is perfect for you. You know? This one cuts me just perfectly. So, first off, do the with the grain pass. Your razor should be about at a 30-degree angle. And where your pivot point is about where the balance is. You know, if it's top heavy, you know, when you hold it like this, you don't want it right there. Hold it where it's balanced. If you're holding it too shallow of an angle, all you're going to do is feel the head of the razor, and it won't cut anything. If you're holding it too far down, you're going to get this scraping feeling, because the blade is actually flat against your skin. What you want is to come into an angle with it. Very, very light pressure. Think about, you know, shaving a balloon. That's how much pressure. It's just like mowing the grass. You don't bear down with your mower. You let the blade do the cutting and you just push it along. That's exactly what you do when you wet shave. is you just push it along. There's a thing called mapping your face, where you let your hair grow out a little bit, and you find out which way your hairs grow. They don't all just grow straight down, and that's it. These hairs right here, they grow this way. These grow down. These right here on the bar of the goatee grow this way. These grow down. And I got some that go this way up under here. I really don't have a lot of hair on my neck, but the ones that I do usually tend to grow up. I watched a lot of videos when I was first starting out and tried to mimic exactly what they were doing. Jill Fatboy, Nick Shaves, Manic 59. But I found out that what they did didn't actually work for me, so I would try different things. That's why you use the same products and try to do the same thing. You know, get you a technique down of going one with the grain. And don't change that up. And then if you get an irritation, let's say right in here or right here, that's what you work on. So when I do my chin, I do change my grip. I put my finger down here and spread my fingers out. And then when I go over my chin, I go this way. I roll it. Just like that. And the biggest thing is do not worry about how much hair you're cutting. You know, you're not going to get a baby butt smooth shave your first, your 10th. Might take 30 days. But worry about technique and not cutting yourself. After every pass, I wash my face off. That brings me to washing your face. Before I shave any day, I shower. And for over a year, I used this pre-shave wash. It's Be-Bald Clean. It's for head shaving, but it did a great job on cleaning my face. I have pretty sensitive skin to some stuff, like this face wash right here. Even though it says sensitive, it's Nivea, and I can use the aftershave balm. This does not work for me. So just like anything, you're gonna have to figure out what works for you. So don't go and buy 4 or 5 different products and then one day, one the next. Use this product for a week. If it works for you, stick with it. And that's, you know, you can always get something later and experiment with it. But right now I'm actually using a bath soap, Mitchell's Wool Fat. One from England. But I found something that just stuck, that Be-Bald Clean. It has honey in it and stuff like that, and so I like honey. And it didn't irritate my face. It didn't dry it out. I'll get to aftershaves after this pass. Now this is going to be across the grain. And what you're doing is you're not cutting hair. It's not like bringing it back to mowing grass. You're going to make one pass and that's it. It's going to be all one level. No. You're reducing your hairs. So the first pass, let's say your hair is this. First pass, you get it down to here. And then that across the grain pass gets it about right there. But if you feel this way and this way, you don't feel nothing. But if you go this way, you feel it. So there's still right there where it comes out of the skin, still some, that's when you go against the grain. And you don't have to start off going against the grain. Just like everything in wet shaving, you take your time and you work up to it. You take steps progressively. This is against the grain. Across the grain from me, right there. And then my neck, I don't go actually across the grain. I just do another pass. And as far as these 3 passes go, some people will do 2 passes. And that's it, because they can't, it irritates them to go any other direction. Some go across the grain and that's it, after going with the grain. And then some will go with the grain and then straight against the grain. But that's after they found out they could. Just experiment and see what works for you. I've always done 3 passes with a DE razor. If I go straight against the grain with the DE razor, if I go straight against the grain right after with the grain, it will irritate my skin. Very, very light pressure. Now, if you feel like I went one direction across the grain, if you feel like you want to do another one, you can do it. You can do a 4-pass shave. You can do just a regular 1-pass shave if you want to. But what I found out is, if it works for me, it might not work for you. And what that means is you're getting irritation. And the overall thing you're trying to accomplish here is to walk out of the shave den feeling great. No irritation, a great shave, feeling good about yourself, and smelling good. So if you're walking out here every single day with irritation, your face is red, you got nicks and everything else, it's not going to be enjoyable. It's not going to be fun. So that's why you work up to a great shave. Now on to aftershaves. There are basically 3 aftershaves for me. There's the balm. And this is Nivea Sensitive Skin. I use this. This stuff's great. Then there's aftershave with menthol and alcohol, which yes, this has menthol and alcohol. I don't think this has menthol. And then there's a splash, which I don't have any up here right now, but it's just an aftershave without alcohol, and you just splash it on your face. My suggestion is this comes from Walgreens, and I think it's under $10. You can get this at Walgreens. Go get an aftershave that's fairly cheap with alcohol and one without, a balm, and try it out. Balms really don't work for me after using with alcohol. My face feels oily the rest of the day when I use a balm. So it falls up under that same thing of soaps and creams and scents, like smells. There's a lot of different aftershaves out there, but first find out what works for you. What kind of aftershave? Does a balm work for you, or a splash, or something like this with just menthol in it? There's no fragrance at all. It's just menthol. Fragrances might be a problem with you. So it's stuff you just have to experiment with and try for yourself. Against the grain is I hold it upside down with a good grip. Use the same angle as I did. Well, I'm going to be holding it this way right now, because this is against the grain right here for me. And I turn it upside down, hold it just like this. Make sure the angle of my blade is 30 degrees. As far as when do you wash out your razor? When it's about filled up with soap. And I put a little bit of air in my cheeks, not a lot, because it gives a curve, but just a little bit of air to tighten it. And I push down right here, push the skin down. You'll notice some people will walk it up like that. It works better for me if I just do one stroke. That's worth trying something each time. Don't do one stroke and then a short stroke, one stroke and then a short stroke. Do your whole shave with just short strokes for a few shaves. See if it works for you. And it did take me a long time of shaving. I'll tell you, probably 3 or 4 months before I could even go against the grain without irritation. I just done a little bit at a time until I could go completely against the grain. You might, once you get through, run your hand over. If you got any pickups, put a little bit of soap on there. Go over it again. When I washed off my face the last time, just then, I did a hot splash, and then I done a cold. I done coldest it would take, wash my face off with the cold. Now if I have, I'll say any weepers or nicks, if I have them, I got a septic pencil, and this used to be this long, but I dropped it in and it broke. You can use this and push it right on where you cut yourself, or you can get this from Razor Rock, and it's an alum block. This works great. A lot of people will take this and put it all over their face right after a shave. It's called an astringent. I can't do that because it does give me irritation. Try it out. This usually stops any bleeding I have. Comes in this neat little case. Well, that's about it for this shave. I'll wipe my face off. We put it on some clean Vetiver. Fine. It's got a good menthol alcohol feel. Menthol just makes everything cool. Most of your aftershaves aren't that strong of a scent. And I'll always run it through my hair, just in case the wife wants to smell my hair. And I'll be coming out with more videos like what my choice of brushes are, my choice of blades, and my choice of vintage razors. So thank you for watching. I hope this helps, and if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. My Instagram is cat7597. Thank you for watching, and hope everybody has a great Thursday. I'm going to enjoy my weekend off. Happy shaving.